Hello, everyone. My name is Rose Simpson. I'm a librarian at the New Haven Free Public Library, and welcome to Camp Public Kitchen, Cooking Around the Clock. For our last day, our creative in residence, Nadine Nelson, is going to be showing us how to make a variety of things, including tea, drinks, desserts, and snacks.
Yes. So, hi, I'm Nadine Nelson. I am the chef, owner, and educator of Global Local Gourmet. And I have the pleasure of also being an artist and being creative in residence at the New Haven Public Library. I am so excited that we are finishing our last day. I'm not excited that we're finishing our last day, but I'm excited that we have gone through a whole cycle of showing people how to be able to nourish themselves and eat well. And we've done some fun activities, home ec and STEAM activities that we hope that people will share. We have a 50-page booklet that encompasses all the things that we've done this week that I'll be working on this weekend, and I will make available and will widely share next week, which will also have the embeds of the videos that we have done each day too. So yesterday we made tomato sauce, and we are going to make, we have tomato sauce right here. I'll let you see it. We made with ground chicken. We are going to make pizza lollipops. Well, I think actually with this one, I'm going to make pizza in 3 different ways. So we're going to make pizza lollipops. We are going to make pizzadillas, which use flour tortillas and cheese and then tomato sauce. So that's a really great way for especially younger kids to be able to make pizza on their own. And I got this flatbread, and so I'll make a pizza on that also. And then we have pizza dough. And so with the pizza dough, that you can buy at any, usually any supermarket, and many pizza parlors will sell you dough for you to be able to put them in the freezer. This was frozen and it is now unfrozen. So you can buy pizza dough and freeze it, but whatever you want, I want to show people to be flexible. All this week has been showing people different kind of blueprints, templates, formulas for you to be able to add your own personality and improvise the recipes. So we're going to be making pizza pinwheels. That's a really nice way to be able to show kids how to be able to do something fun. You can put a stick in there if you want to make it a lollipop. And then, like you can use all different types of ingredients. We are going to be making really pretty sandwich cakes from Scandinavia. And we're going to be decorating it with a lot of different ingredients that we have gotten today, like different herbs and radish and watercress and cucumbers and stuff. So we're going to be making a bunch of different salads that goes into a sandwich and makes a cake and is fun to make and easy. We have ingredients. Ooh, Soleil, I'm off of here. I'm off here. So we have different ingredients for all the pizza, different ingredients for the sandwiches. We're gonna make a vegan tea cake, banana bread, which is always fun. And people don't even know that it's vegan. And so today the theme is tea and eating tea, and the, America's association with tea is like the Tea Party, and so very political. But around the world, tea brings people together and is a way to create community and also eat really great things. And so I have a couple videos to talk about that and like the ceremony of tea, and because we're kind of doing foods that would be in between, things that would be snacks. Is pizza, it can be a full meal, but oftentimes it is a snack or something in between. A sandwich can be lunch, but many sandwiches are eaten during tea in between lunch and dinner. So we're showcasing that in between tea. If you have an English tea, there's different sense of formality where you might have sandwiches, you might have scones, and then you might have sweet things. So scones are in between. And so I have different videos like for you to see English tea, and then also uh, Chinese tea ceremony, but all around the world, like people have tea. Like in Morocco, there are tea ceremonies. In Latin America, people have tea ceremonies. In Senegal, they have ceremonies. In Russia, so in many places, people have tea ceremonies, and where you have a drink, you usually have food and sustenance. And so we're going to celebrate that today. And I'm going to have Rose play for you those two videos on tea ceremonies. They're around, I think, 8 minutes each. And then we'll come back and start cooking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Afternoon tea is a real British tradition. It began in the 1840s when Anna, Duchess of Bedford, decided that the time between lunch and supper was just too far apart. So to fill the gap, she asked her servants to bring her some light refreshments, a pot of tea, some finger sandwiches and some cakes and pastries. In 1841, she invited Queen Victoria to join her for tea, and the occasion was cemented as a great social connector. Today afternoon tea is more of a rare treat, something you might enjoy at a fancy hotel. Well, I want to show you how to create the perfect afternoon tea at home. So join me in this video and I'll take you through every step to create an occasion that is memorable and enjoyable for your guests. I'm Nicholas Fairford. I'm a designer and writer with a focus on classic and elegant living. I've always believed that life should be beautiful. My aim is to bring beauty into the everyday with the simplest and smallest pleasures so that we can all have more moments of joy in our lives. Afternoon tea consists of 3 different elements. So we've got sandwiches, scones and cakes and pastries. For my sandwiches I've just made cucumber because I find them light and delicate, not too filling. My scones, I've baked them fresh because I think they're always better from the oven, nice and warm. And my cakes and pastries, I bought them from the shop because I'm not a pastry chef and it's much easier, it will save you a lot of stress. Buying them from the shop, to me, is perfectly acceptable. Now, afternoon tea is all about presentation. So if you can get a cake stand like this one, I would highly recommend that you do so because it will just make the whole experience that much more pleasurable. With tea, you can serve a choice of tea. It's always nice to serve an Earl Grey because that's a fragrant tea, and then an English breakfast, which is a crowd pleaser. Everyone likes English breakfast with a nice drop of milk. A beautiful table setting will bring your afternoon tea to life. I've used these small wicker glasses and filled them with tulips. I also have these bud vases and I'm going to fill them with roses. I want flowers on my table, but as the cake stand is going to take centre stage, I want the flowers to be a supporting act, because otherwise they will interrupt the view of the table and you won't be able to have good conversation. You don't need to be a florist, this is so easy to do. Just remove the leaves and cut them to size. For me, setting the table is the most enjoyable part of entertaining at home. I love to create a setting that will make my guests smile. It's always a good idea to choose some sort of theme for your table setting. For my afternoon tea today, I want a very pretty setting with flowers, bugs and nature. Every time I've had afternoon tea at a hotel, all the best places use a white tablecloth. It's the perfect backdrop and looks elegant and clean. I'm going to start with these larger dinner plates to anchor each place setting. I tried linen placemats, but they didn't work. Next, I'm going to use this smaller plate, which will be used for eating. Placing the cutlery will allow me to see how much room I have for my glassware and teacups. Keeping to my nature theme, I'm going to use these small cabbage leaf dishes. They don't really have a function today, but they are beautiful. Next, I'm adding linen napkins. To get them really fresh and crisp, use starch when pressing them. I have these very sweet bee napkin rings that will add a touch of whimsy to the table. Champagne is a real treat with afternoon tea. I've chosen these glasses in pastel colours, which brighten the whole table and are so different to just using plain glass. The tea set I'm using is by Wedgwood and it's called Butterfly Bloom. It's a real favourite of mine. These golden pomegranate dishes with miniature spoons add a touch of luxury to the whole table and are a fun way to serve jam and cream. Now for the all-important milk, sugar and lemon. Not forgetting the tea, of course. It's time to bring out the star of the show. Doesn't it look wonderful? To finish, I'm going to dot my little flower arrangements around the table. When it comes to entertaining, I don't like stiff or formal rules. The most important thing for me is to create an environment where your guests are relaxed. So my number one rule is to just have fun. If you do want some general guidance, let's start with tea. It's best to stir the tea in a 6 to 12 motion and give it a little flick rather than clanging it around the teacup like this. With scones, you don't need to worry about cutting them in half, just break them with your hands like this. Then you can just take a little bit of cream and some jam onto the side of your plate. And then we'll use a knife just to put them on. Now there is a lot of debate about whether it's jam or cream first. Personally, I prefer cream first, but it's totally up to you. And that's it, no more rules, just enjoy this very special occasion. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's inspired you to create your own tea party at home. Thank you so much for watching, bye-bye.
So being Jamaican, I grew up, Jamaica is in the Caribbean, and it was colonized, the country or the island was colonized by the British, who happened upon Taino and Arawak Indians, that those are the indigenous people that were there, but brought this whole notion of tea culture to the Caribbean and the places that they colonized. And so I didn't grow up liking tea per se, because you had milk in it. I don't know why I didn't like tea. I liked mint tea, I liked herbal teas, but I didn't like tea that had tea leaves in there. In my older age, I love chai. I love mixing chai, which is from India, and it has different spices in there. I like to put allspice and ginger. It's like a black tea, and it usually has some kind of cream, whether it be coconut milk, or I usually use oat milk right now, or a combination of almond and coconut milk. But it has all different spices. And I do a vanilla chai because I love vanilla. And I just feel like when you start the day, it's very fragrant and very nice. I love Earl Grey tea. Those are my favorites. I love mint tea. But as I said, there's tea cultures all around the world. And it's a nice time to be able to sit down and commune with people, rest, and be reflective. Even the making tea is very as a meditative act. So I like that. Also, and I like that no matter where you are, you have sweet and savory, and that's always fun. So savory is the opposite of sweet, if you don't know that definition. So I'm like prepping different things. So this is for the sandwich cake. So we have carrots, we have cucumber, we have radish, and we have lemon. I am also prepping stuff for our different pizza ingredients. And so I roasted a pepper from scratch, but you can always buy that in the jar if you want to. I'm about to saute some onions. Or my daughter's about to saute some onions. So I'm just like prepping different things, but we'll probably right now make a pizza. And we'll probably make a pizza. So I'm gonna saute some onions and put together a pizzadilla, and then we'll see like where we go from there. All right, so can you bring this over here, please, for me? And I feel like I should have gotten a video on pizza, but then I'll just talk a little bit about pizza from what I know. Not like I am an expert, but New Haven has the best pizza in the world. I'm not sponsored by you. I don't even know if New Haven has a pizza association. But pizza came from Naples at the turn of the century to New Haven. I have to say that I have been to Italy and I tried the pizza, although I knew I was going to be kind of disappointed. I have to, my pot is very hot, so I have to let that cool down for a second. So I was kind of disappointed. Everything that we went to Florence and everything we had was really good, but the pizza looks like Naples is where pizza comes from in Italy. But when I went to Italy, I went to Milan and I went to Florence. And so I had pizza in Florence and it looked like the cafeteria pizza that we have here at school. So I didn't really enjoy that very much. New Haven pizza is it's cooked in a coal oven, so it's extremely hot. It's over 700 degrees. It's flat and a little charred. Some people feel like it is burnt. When you're from here, I don't know if you think it's burnt. I think you feel it's more charred. I like that. And we're going to we're not even, because you can't get your own oven that high. So like, you get me the olive oil right in here, please. Oh, no. Thank you. You can't get your oven that hot. You have to use a coal oven or a wood-fired oven. So I'm going to show you how to do some fun things that kids can do with pizza. So right now I am sauteing some onions. Some red onions. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. Next way. Can you get the stuff ready for the banana bread for me, please? Thank you. We're talking about when you're using modest ingredients, then you want to coax out flavor from there. And you do that by sauteing onions and caramelizing them. Onions are not very expensive, but when you caramelize them, they really make a dish enhanced. Yesterday we made meat sauce, so I'm going to use the meat sauce for one of the pizzas. I have salami for one of the pizzas. I thought maybe about, oh, wait, can you get me, oh, that kale? Can I have that kale, please? I'm going to saute kale. I like to have vegetables in a lot of my food. And my daughter likes vegetables too, and I think it's always really good to have our kids used to eating vegetables in their dishes. So I'm just going to saute some kale that's chopped. I don't know if I've asked you this before, Rose. What is your favorite topping for pizza?
I tend to like vegetables on it, not so much meat.
Yeah.
But I'm not too picky about what.
Yeah.
Except not green peppers. I find green peppers to be bitter, but red peppers are delicious.
Yeah. So that's why I did an orange pepper. Turn this down a little bit so they don't burn. They're getting a little color, but I don't want them to burn. And then I'm going to start What? Can you do me a favor? Can you bring me the pepper over there, please? So I am going to start peeling the pepper, so I have that. And a lot of cooking is preparation and just making sure that you have everything ready. So I'm peeling off the skin. I roasted this under the broiler. If you have a gas stove, then you can just put a fork in the pepper and then keep on turning it on the glass and on the gas stove. And then you can put it in a bowl and put some foil or saran wrap on there to let it steam out a little bit. I didn't need to do that. As you can see, it's pretty much cooked. And then I will just slice it. I can use my hands to do it too. I was gonna get a knife, but there's not a lot of seeds. Okay, I'm gonna take my peppers off because they're pretty much done. So like, can you get me some of the garlic powder in the above here, please? So if you don't want to mince garlic, because this will take me away from what I'm doing right now, but I might still mince some garlic, is you can just put some garlic powder in the kale. I'm not going to put any salt in there because I'm probably going to use it with salami, and salami or pepperoni has a lot of salt. So you want to keep your sodium content down. Thank you. Right, so I have that done. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic salt, or not garlic salt, garlic powder on my kale. I'm gonna saute that. And then I'm probably gonna make 2 pizzas right now. I'm gonna make the pinwheels a little bit later. But I'm gonna show you 2 different versions of easy, and then I will do the pinwheels later because the hardest part is like rolling it out, and then putting them together. But then it's a lot easier than making, like for instance, rolling out and then like a cookie, making like cookies, like cutting out the dough in circles. This is a really easy way to make little discs and mini pizzas, which are really cute for a birthday party or to have kids to do together on a play date. All right, so Soleil can, let's see. Right, so I'm gonna make a pizzadilla. So that's like a tortilla with Italian ingredients. So I am using whole wheat. I'm gonna let this get a little bit of hot. I'll put just a little bit of oil on there. Can you pass me the salami over there and then also the cheese, please? Thank you. And then can you start the banana bread? Whatever needs to. Thank you. All right. So That's getting a little hot, so I'll put a little bit of oil. We have a whole wheat flour tortilla. So this has more fiber than a regular white flour tortilla. Can you pass me the plain tomato sauce, Soleil, please? I'm going to put a little bit of mixed Italian cheese on there, and then can you get me a spoon, please? So we have regular sauce that we made yesterday. So just plain sauce, just has onions and garlic and herbs in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese. Oops. A little bit of tomato sauce. It's kind of like an easy calzone. I saw another chef named Chef Asada make this. I had my daughter take one of her cooking classes, and I just thought it was like the best thing ever because not everyone can manage doing a pizza from scratch, but this is very close. So we're just gonna put a little bit of onions in here. We'll put a little bit of pepper and then some kale. So for the parents that are watching, and they're like, oh, my kids are not going to eat that, I will say this. The healthier you are usually during your pregnancy, and what you eat is what your child eats. So when people say like, oh, my child doesn't like broccoli, it's like, usually, do you like broccoli? So I like to show people that's really, you don't need, your tomato sauce is all in there. And so you just can cut that into 4. And it's something that's easy for you to do for your kids or for kids to do for themselves for after school snack. Can you pass me, sweetheart? Can you pass me a plate, please? All right. So a pizzadilla. I am going to now turn on the stove. And usually when you're making pizza, you kind of want to, make it as hot as possible. And you also want to watch out for what you're doing when you do that too. But pizza is cooked at a high heat to keep the crust crunchy, right? So like, can you take that off for me? And give me the cookie sheet, please. Thank you. And then do you have the other pizza dough? Oh, it's right behind, right there. And then give me the meat sauce, please. So I have a flatbread. So if you feel like your kids, like you don't want to use tortillas, which was very easy, but you don't want them to turn on the stove and have to flip things. I want to show things that were for different abilities. So you can use a flatbread. Can you pass me the meat sauce, please? Okay. I have some meat sauce that we made yesterday. So I'll put the meat sauce on the flatbread. You want to go as far as you want to. Some people don't eat crust because I feel like there's like too much crust. So you can go as far as you want to. I try and go as far as I can, so people don't throw out crust. We're talking about sustainability also today and using what you have. So earlier this week, we made refried beans, and then we used them yesterday for tortillas. Trying to show you, like, we made salad dressing, and then you can make it all throughout the week. There's really no reason why you should waste, or you should try to plan your meals around not wasting. Because you can save a lot of money on your grocery bill. Like, I bought a whole bunch of herbs, and I'm obviously not going to use them today. So I will make a green seasoning, and I have a cooking class at the end of the month. I'll probably use a lot of the things that I can't finish. I will use that for my class at the end of the month, but then I'll freeze it or cook it or do something so it doesn't spoil. So I have fresh mozzarella. It's right here. I'm going to cut that. So that's a different kind of cheese than here. This is Italian style mixture, and it can be different things depending on what brand. So this is low moisture, part skim mozzarella, not smoked, provolone, Romano, Assaggio, and also Parmesan, finely shredded. So, you can find different blends. I'm going to just do for this has a meat sauce, and then it's going to have fresh mozzarella. This is how it looks like this. And then I will just go like this and spread that around. You can do whatever you want. You want to do a blue cheese pizza, you like Gouda, you can choose whatever you want. If you want to do a pita pizza, that's really great for kids to be able to make and to be able to do. You can do that too. So I'm just doing the meat sauce. And as much as I want to put some of the greens on there, I already put greens on another one. So, and I'll make the pizzadillas like with the salami in the same way. So I want to do some different types of pizzas. All right. All right. So there we have it. I'm going to put that in. It's at 550 degrees. And when it is cooked and bubbly, you'll be able to see. You want to make sure that you don't burn your crust. That probably will take around 10 minutes probably, but I'll keep on looking at it. All right. So right now I'm going to have us look at how to make a sandwich cake, and then we will make the banana bread that we can put into the oven. We're going to turn, after the pizza comes out, we'll turn down the oven for a second to put the banana bread in, to then finish like with the pinwheels at the end. And then we'll spend a large portion of time making this sandwich cake, or the sportgata, which is a Scandinavian savory cake. So if you can play that, that'd be great. All right, so, and then I'll start getting more of those ingredients together too. Thank you.
Let them eat cake. The Swedes have given us a few great things like the band ABBA, IKEA, and this is just to name a few. One of the things that you perhaps have not heard about is this delicious sandwich cake called smorgastorta. Hi everyone, I'm Karen Ahmed and welcome back to Craving Spit Adventures. I don't have much of a sweet tooth and this sandwich cake is so delicious and so customizable that I can't resist it. This may not be a 100% traditional recipe, but it's only because smorgastorta gives you so much room to create and customize it the way that you like. It's typically made with layers of bread that are sandwiched together with really delicious ingredients, but what those ingredients are is really totally up to you. Traditionally, they use things like smoked salmon and shrimp and ham, and you can also add herbs like parsley and dill. You can make this smorgastorta any shape that you like. If you want a round cake, you can go ahead and bake your bread in a round cake pan and then simply just slice it into layers. You can also use ready-made available tramezzini bread. Now this we get in most of our grocery stores and it's so easy, it actually comes already sliced for you. This is great to make a lovely rectangular cake. But today I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to use regular sliced sandwich bread. This is something that everybody gets. It's so easily available and all I'm going to do is basically put it together in a square shape. Traditional smorgastortas are usually made with mayonnaise, but I'm going to keep it light by using a mixture of light cream cheese and light sour cream. Today I'm going to stick with seafood ingredients like shrimp and smoked salmon, and I'm going to add cucumber, radish and egg slices. I'm also going to add herbs like parsley and dill, and everything is going to be encased in a beautiful creamy and sour cream mixture. This is amazing. The first thing I'm going to do is stir my cream cheese. I want to remove all the lumps. Now it's really easy if you just zap this in the microwave. Just zap it for about 10 seconds at a time, because if you zap it for too long, the cheese will start to bubble and cook, and you don't want that. You want your consistency to be like a frosting. Now I'm using light cream cheese, and to make this even lighter, I'm going to add some sour cream. Now typically for an 8-ounce slab of cheese, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of sour cream, and I'm just going to mix this in. The amount of cheese you're going to need will depend on the size of the cake that you're going to make. For the cake that I'm making today, I needed a little over 16 ounces of cheese and about 8 to 10 tablespoons of sour cream. The first thing I'm going to do is cut all the crust off my bread, and then I'm going to assemble it on this square plate. Now just like you anchor a cake, I'm going to add a little bit of cream cheese at the bottom just to anchor everything, and I'm going to lay 4 slices of bread. I'm going to cover the bread with a layer of cream cheese followed by some shrimp. You can go ahead and buy pre-cooked shrimp if you like. Just go to the store and buy pre-cooked shrimp and use that. But I like to poach my own shrimp. The reason for this is it adds so much flavor. I've got a poaching liquid going. This is simply 4 cups of water, and I'm going to add some onions and the herbs. Now I've already got some parsley and dill. I'm going to throw that in there together with some salt and the juice of a lime. Once this comes to a boil, I'm going to turn the heat off, and then I'm going to add the shrimp to the pot, cover it, and I'm going to allow it to cook for 10 minutes. Now this is going to ensure that your shrimp is perfectly done. It's not going to be overdone, it's not going to be rubbery, and I'm just going to allow it to cool. Once it's cooled, I'm going to take the shells off. Now these shrimp are a really good size. I'm going to reserve some for later, as I'm going to use this as a garnish as well. And the rest of them, I want to cut them horizontally so they form a nice thin layer on my sandwich cake. I'm simply going to take the 2 ends of my shrimp, and using my knife, I'm just going to saw right across horizontally. Once this is done, I'm just going to leave them aside. I'm going to layer these on top of my sandwich cake, and then I'm going to add some dill. Next, I'm going to add another layer of bread, but I'm going to add the cream cheese to both sides. This is going to ensure that the cream cheese really holds on well to every single layer. The next layer I'm going to add is cucumber. I've simply cut the cucumber to size, and I'm also going to add some radish. Now the radish adds a lovely crunch, but also great flavor and amazing color. Next, I'm going to add some beautiful smoked salmon. This comes from Norway and is really, really close to Sweden, so it's going to be perfect in my smorgastorta. I'm not going to do too much. The pieces are very, very jagged. I'm only going to slice it on one end to give it a nice sharp edge and make sure that it looks really nice and neat on my sandwich cake. I'm going to build a layer of my smoked salmon, and then I'm simply going to add some chopped parsley before I add another layer of my bread. And for my final layer, I'm going to add some boiled eggs. Now this is going to give wonderful protein to your sandwich. I've got some nice boiled eggs that I've sliced, and I'm simply going to add the slices, and I'm going to follow that with another layer of bread. Now my cake is ready. It just needs to be iced. I've got my cream cheese mixture ready, and I'm simply going to add it to the top, and I'm going to frost it just like you would frost a normal cake. I'm also going to go through the sides and make sure that the entire cake is covered in the cream cheese and sour cream mixture. Here's where you can have a lot of fun. You can decorate this cake any way that you like. There really are no rules. I'm gonna make sure though to put every single ingredient on top of the cake because you want your guests to know what's inside the cake when they eat it. I'm going to sprinkle some parsley on top of the cream cheese, and the first thing I'm gonna do is lay down some boiled eggs. I'm going to follow this with 4 radish slices that I'm going to add in the 4 corners. And then on each radish slice, I'm going to add some shrimp. I'm using the whole shrimp, and I'm just going to add a little bit of cream cheese and anchor them onto those pieces of radish. I'm also going to add some sprigs of dill. This is going to look so pretty. Next, I'm going to add some salmon roses, 1 on each corner. I'm also going to add some slices of cucumber and some radish. I'm going to use some of the shrimp that I cut horizontally, and I'm going to add these on top of my eggs. And in the center, I'm going to add 2 whole shrimp that is going to be anchored together with some cream cheese, and I'm going to add some dill and some fresh parsley. I'm also going to add parsley to the corners, and I'm going to fill in any spaces with some more egg. Finally, I'm going to top everything with beautiful caviar jewels. I got some gorgeous Masago caviar, and I'm just going to dollop this on top of the cake. Don't forget the sides of the cake. I'm going to smooth out the sides of the cake, and then I'm going to add half cucumber rounds at the bottom. This is just going to finish off the bottom really nicely. And I'm also going to take some flat leaf parsley, and I'm going to add them to the side. This looks so pretty. When you cut into this cake, you're going to see all of the layers. You're going to see the shrimp with the dill. You're going to see the cucumber, the radish. You're going to see that beautiful smoked salmon together with the parsley, the boiled egg, and then on top of the cake, you're going to see all of those decorations, and everything's going to be encased in that delicious cream cheese and sour cream mixture. I really hope you enjoy this recipe. It truly is amazing. Make sure that you check out all of my other recipes on my YouTube channel. Make sure that you're subscribed because I upload new videos every week.
We're over here eating pizzadillas that are amazing. I wish you were here, Rose. I always wish you were here to be able to taste what I make.
Oh, well, I will have to imagine.
Well, there'll be some time that I'll bring some food for you, Rose. Don't worry. Now that it's spring and it's summer, then, you know. So, all right. So here's the pizza that was in the oven. Very New Haven style. So some people might feel like this is a little toasty, but that's how we like it here. So you see how the fresh mozzarella gets a little toasty. If you don't want it like this, then you can take it out a lot sooner. But in New Haven, we like our pizza a little brown. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna not be too political. All right, so my daughter has been putting together what temperature does the banana bread have to be on? 350? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do, we're gonna bake our banana bread and I think that I have the oven on. So we are gonna bake banana bread right now, and the recipe is there. So, usually with a bread or a tea cake, you start with your oil, you start with, so if it might be oil or butter, then you're gonna cream that together with sugar, then you're gonna put an egg in there, then you're gonna put your dry ingredients. And so that's what she did. Yeah, oh, so this is vegan. So there are no eggs, there's just like oil. And the ways in which you make things vegan when you're baking is like, like it's kind of like science. And so you might use applesauce, you might use oil, you might use flax seeds. Those are different you might use banana or applesauce. Those are things that mimic the softness that eggs give a dessert or a cake. And so we have the recipe there for you, and she's making that right now. And then I'm gonna start making the smergata because we only have an hour left. All right, so I think that's important that I try and put that stuff together. We're making a flavored soda or a tea, and so we're making a flavored syrup. So we're using strawberries, that's what I have, and we're gonna boil them down into sugar. I might put some lemon if I want to in there, and I should probably do that right now, so it can cool down so I can make soda at the end. So you see how cooking is all like you have to readjust. I can say whatever I want in the flyer or the directions, and then things you have to just adapt. And that's what I love about cooking. All right. So I'm gonna take my I'm going to organize my station a little bit better for what I have to do and be right back. So we're making these into banana muffins instead of banana bread. And so it will only take probably less than half the time to be able to cook because it's a smaller vessel. All right. My daughter wanted to do that. And since she was making it, I give her her poetic license. Don't I? Right. Wash that off. Oh, I'm getting it. And the sugar. The sugar. So we have right here a saucepan, and then I'm going to put a cup of sugar. And you can use whatever fruit that you want. We're using strawberries, and this is a great application to be able to use when you have strawberries that you don't want to eat. Like your strawberries are about to go bad, they're about to have that white mold. Wash them off and either freeze them. So see right here, this mold right there. So you cut that off. And a lot of people in America would throw away the strawberries. You don't have to throw them away. You don't want to eat them fresh. But what you can do is wash it off and then put them in the freezer and then use them for either something like this, or you can make a smoothie. So my daughter loves smoothies. And so tell her, the blueberries and the strawberries are going bad. then just wash them off. And you can also, there's applications that you can learn on YouTube that you can. So I want to watch this and turn this down, the fire down, because I don't want to burn the sugar. So I'm just cutting off the stems of the strawberries. And then we have our strawberries right here, and then I'll put them in with the sugar. I'm just gonna wash them right here because they have holes down here. So it's great. So I am going to put 1 cup water in here. You can use frozen strawberries, 1.5 cup of fruit. So it can be frozen or fresh. I'm just gonna put all these strawberries in there and it will just be very strawberry. That's fine. Because these are strawberries that are first of the season, so they're not gonna be like their essence of real strawberry anyway. So I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit, and then I'm gonna put my water in there and then let it boil and then let it cool. And then at the end, we'll make our soda. And if you're going to make a tea, then you'd boil whatever tea that you want. If you want like a white tea, traditional black tea, then do that. And then put a little bit of the syrup to make a strawberry tea, and if you want to, you can do this with peaches or apples, whatever you want. And it's really fun to be able to just use seltzer water and ice and to make your own natural soda. And real sugar is a lot better than a chemical sugar. So I'm just putting the water in here. That's 1 cup. And then this is 1/2 cup. So you let that boil up, the sugar, and then you say like macerate, like when this boils up, then the strawberries will break down, and then we'll let this cool, and then we'll put it in a glass, drinking glass, and with some ice, and then pour some seltzer water on it, and it'll be so nice and refreshing. We'll put a little twist of lemon. But if you want your kids to drink soda, if they're going to drink soda, of course they like it, my daughter likes it, then try at least steer them in this direction to make something that is natural. Right, so we have the banana bread in the oven in the form of muffins. We have made 2 different types of pizza. We are going to pay our attention to sporgata, and I think that I should start playing the videos for the ends, like doing the harvest mandalas right now, so we can talk about that while I'm making the ingredients for the sporgata, the sandwich cake. It's not like it's hard. It's just like there's lots of different layers to make it look nice. And so I've been working on that, but I wanted you to be able to see some of that because that's the best part, assembling it together. So we're making tuna and seafood. I am not making egg. I do not like egg in my food like that. I like eggs separately. I do not like boiled eggs in my food. If you want to do that, you can follow the recipe to the hilt. I'm doing my own freestyle version of how I like to put together salads, which is not with a lot of mayonnaise. So Yeah, just follow along. Watch the 2 videos about harvest mandalas. We're going to talk about sustainability and all that kind of stuff. And I can do that while I'm making the sandwich cake with you for our last kind of hour together. All right. So can you play those 2 videos?
All right.
Those, and then I will be plugging away.
The idea behind the mandala is that, well, it's a mandala. A lot of mandalas are traditionally radially symmetric designs, and it originates from Indian culture. And there's a lot of them that orient themselves to the cardinal direction, so north, south, east, west. And we played with the idea of the color wheel and the primary colors, the additive and subtractive systems. So with just the cardinal directions, the colors I always associate those directions to are green, white, blue, and red, because in Chinese mythology, the guardian beast for the north is a black tortoise, and a lot of times when I see images of it, it has accents of green. So I could use the green for that to represent that section. And then the south is represented by the red phoenix, so red food. And then the tricky ones were the west and the east, because the east is represented by the blue dragon, and there are not blue fruit besides blueberries. So we replaced that with violet, and then because the west is represented by the white tiger, I replaced that section with yellow, because in the additive system, when you mix all the primary colors of light, which are red, blue, and green, it makes white light. So I played with the idea of a Venn diagram so that the circles would overlap a little bit, and the sections of the overlaps of the big color circles are white to kind of bring that idea in, and also for just to make a more interesting design. So the yellow is the lightest color of the other colors we picked out that we could make from the fruits and veggies. And then orange is in the center because we're Longhorns. Just for that reason, we put it there.
My feeling is that actually my favorite holiday has always been Thanksgiving. And I think that if you can measure the wellness of a community by how good they are at celebrating holidays. If the holidays seem empty and you're just going through the motions, we are not going to make it very far. We're sick. We're ill. And so I knew that we're not doing a good job of it, and I thought, what makes it celebrating? So the idea of the bounty of the earth, and then dancing and singing. And then I started looking into holiday rituals from different places. And there's always singing and dancing and colorful things. And so that's why the idea was to string together these different components, the yo-yos and the balloons and the school kids coming by and the fruit and the vegetables, but all for a good cause. You know, so that the fruit, all these things would then be given to people who don't have it. So it's like we would be taking care of all of us, you know, and doing things for us that make us smile and laugh and just hang out, but for a really good cause.
Such a fun experience, and it's just promoting, you know, like the arts and everything like that, and ultimately the thing that really I think makes this the best experience is that in the end, everything we're doing is going to people who really need it. Like all the money, all the food, all the fun that we're having is gonna go to somebody who needs that, and it's just it's a phenomenal feeling, really. You can't really explain that perfectly. Like just knowing that because you're happy, someone else is gonna be.
The mandala was a really good experience. It was nice to meet everyone here, and it was nice to get some friends, you know, since you being a freshman, you don't really know a lot of people. So it was nice to gain some friends and gain experience, and hopefully next year, you know, we'll put this on again and it will be bigger and better and more people will come and donate.
From the sketch to the actual thing, I was very amazed and impressed of what the group pulled together. And the sketch was just scribbly lines and just a couple of blobs of color just to kind of give me a rough estimate. But when you see the actual thing, the rough estimate is nothing like the real thing. So I just felt really happy, and I was just very proud of how hard everyone worked, and we made it work. This is just the second year that we've done this, and I wasn't here last year. I had no idea how the planning process went with that, and I want to see it grow. I want whoever succeeds in this project just to feel all the frustrations and all the pride after. It was kind of a questionable proposal when I first heard about it, but learned that we can work and make something beautiful.
Hi, my name is Arvelyn Hill, and I'm the coordinator of family programs at the Everett's Children's Adventure Garden at the New York Botanical Gardens. Today I'm going to be showing you a mindfulness activity. I'm going to be showing you how to make a mandala out of natural objects. So a mandala is a geometric shape that comes from Buddhist and Hindu religion, used for meditation and concentration. However, anyone can make a mandala as a way to focus the mind on one specific object and kind of help you forget about anything else going on and just take a moment to focus on one activity to help with mental clarity, but then also just to enjoy the present moment and to enjoy nature. So to make a mandala, I'm going to be using a design called radial balance. And radial balance is when you make a circle from the center and it kind of builds out from that center. And radial design can be found in art, but it can also be found all throughout nature, and you've probably seen it. For instance, when you drop a stone in water and the water starts to ripple around the stone and creates that pattern that goes out, that's an example of radial balance. It can also be seen in plants too. For instance, sunflowers or dandelions when they've gone to seed. Those are all circular natural objects, and then they have different designs that build out from there that show radial balance. Or even the pupil in your eye, that's an example of radial balance. And that's the type of design and balance that I'm going to be using to make my mandala with you. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can gather materials and do it along with me, and then we'll come back together. All right, I finished my mandala. You can see in the video I kind of played around with it to make sure that it was as symmetrical as possible. And now you're probably wondering, what should you do with your mandala? So I would encourage you to take a photo of it so that you can remember this moment. But also, if you did this in a public space or a park or on a walk, you could leave it for other people to enjoy too. That's what I'm going to be doing with mine. So I hope that you enjoyed this mindfulness activity, and this kind of gave you a moment to just enjoy nature and to create art and learn something new. Thank you for watching.
Hi. So, like, can you pass me the shrimp over there, please? I'm just gonna stay over here because I think it's kind of easier for me. And can you pass me the knife right here? Oh, ooh. Want
It
to
looked
let
like it was about to bubble over.
Oh my God! Like, and I could not stand to clean that up tonight. Um, so right now, I'm gonna turn this over here. So, that's a syrup. So it's basically, I don't have a masher. It'd be a little bit better if I had a masher, but I'm gonna take it off to cool down. So we only have half an hour left. That by the time I can make a little soda, so you can see. It's really hard in a regular like 3-hour class. That's hard to do online. I totally get it, but um it makes it hard to be able to show some things in 2 hours. So we're speeding things up. Right now, this is some cooked shrimp that I am cutting up to make shrimp salad. So I'm making shrimp salad, then I'm gonna make a tuna salad, then I'm gonna put things together. So like, can you throw this? So like, can you put this in the sink, the water, the excess water? Thank you. So you just want to make sure that I'm doing a rough chop with a very small knife. I forgot my knife at home, which is bad. I always do because I don't want my knife. I forget things very easily. So sometimes I do that because knives are very expensive. I wouldn't have mind bringing my knife here, but I did forget it. So we're doing a rough chop. I'm going to make a shrimp salad. You can decide how you want to make your shrimp salad. I am you can decide how you want to make your shrimp salad because I got to make a bunch of things in a very short period of time. So I make pizza. So whatever happens, I will make sure that I take a picture. We haven't done a good job of taking pictures of our end results, and they have been delicious. Everything has been really good. We haven't done a good job of making sure that we take before and after pictures of things that have been made and things that have been eaten. So we'll try and do that today. So like, can you open up 2 cans of tuna for me, please? And then drain it and put it in a bowl. So I am not going to put any pickles in here. It says put pickles. I like pickles and I like relish, but I don't want it in my salad. So that's really up to you. I gave you a traditional recipe, and then I'm going to do it the way that I want it for myself. And I suggest that you do it the way that you want it for yourself too. I don't like a lot of mayonnaise. You can, if you don't want to use mayonnaise, you can use things like avocado and vegan mayonnaise to bind things. If you want to, you don't have to make this meat protein. You can use vegetables if you want to. Soleil, can you where's the bowl? Um, so rough chop of my shrimp. I'm gonna wash this off very fast. I don't have to wash it off if I don't want to, but I'm gonna wash it off because everything's cold and going together, but I am gonna wash it off properly. fillet. Right here. Can you pass me all those vegetables right there? Just pass me that. I'm gonna put this on the stove. All those things that have all the herbs and stuff like that. So I can just, yep. Thank you. So I have all of this to be able to decorate things from. So right now I am going to, can you pass me the mayonnaise fillet, please? 2. So we have mayonnaise. We've already whipped up cream cheese. So things that go with shrimp, mint, tarragon, things that are like light and sweet. So I'm doing a little bit of scallion in here. I like the green in scallion. I think it has a lot of flavor and I like that actually. Some people don't like that, but I do. And it's all up to your personal taste. I have some fennel. This is fennel. Let's see. Fennel. It kind of gives like a licorice taste, so you don't want too much, but I like it to add a little kind of freshness. I'm gonna put a little bit of dill and a little bit of mint, just to add some nice flavor. If you could smell it, it smells so good. You want to add a little bit of lemon. I'm going to add a little bit of Cajun seasoning. That's not traditional to Scandinavia, but we're not in Scandinavia, so we're going to do what we want. So, like, can you pass me the Cajun seasoning over there? Okay. All right, I'm going to take this off and get the Cajun seasoning and my seasonings together. So we have a little bit of Cajun seasoning. A little bit of smoked paprika. We have some mustard. If you want to put some pickles, you can do that. Then you just mix it all together for the basis of your shrimp salad. So what time is it? So now I'm going to make a tuna salad. This tastes really good. It's very herbaceous. I'm going to put this in the fridge to get cold and kind of come together. I'm going to put a little pepper in there. It needs a little bit of pepper. You can decide what you want to put in yours. Then I'm going to make a little tuna salad. And then I'm going to try and do the quesadillas and then assemble everything. I'm going to hope that I can assemble something that looks really pretty. I'm running low on time, so. We're gonna see. All right, so let me get another. Tuna, where'd you put the tuna?
Right.
Hmm?
Right here.
Throw that away. Okay. So we have tuna. I'm gonna put some mayonnaise in there, a little bit of mustard. I have some other type of chives that I will cut in there. Right, so we got that. So like you put inside the whipped cream, some of this sour cream, and mix that together, please. For me, thank you. So I have a little bit of onion salt in here. You don't want too much because it's a canned product, so it has probably enough salt in there. Mix that together. And however you want to, if you want to put a little bit of pickle in there, if that's how you want to make it, there are recipes for you to make the smorgata and the sandwich cake. You don't have to make tuna or a shrimp salad. You can just use turkey or ham or roast beef, whatever you want. It's really up to you. And like the video said, like it lends itself to that you can make lots of different things. You can do vegetables. You can chop up, zucchini and carrots, great carrots, and stuff like that. Hearts of palm that can mimic like crab meat. Like there's all these different things. You can do mushrooms. So if you don't want to use a protein, a flesh protein, then you can use like vegetables and make your own salad too. All right, so here, this is all mixed together. I'm going to put probably a little bit more. I'll probably put a little sour cream in here, so it's a little lighter. I use a bigger knife for it. So that's a little creamier because when you're making the sandwich cake, you want it to be easy to put on the bread. All right, so I'm gonna try right now to put together the pizza, and then we'll end with the, I'm gonna put together the pizza, put it in the oven, do the sandwich cake, and then end with the flavored soda, which is just like the syrup, however strong or sweet that you want it, with seltzer water. All right, so I'm gonna move my station over there and do some pizza. I'm gonna turn this off while I do that. Um, if you can cut off, if you can off that station for me, so when I finish with this, I can use that. So you can put that in the fridge and then just wash off the cutting board for me. Thank you so much. So I have, if you can bring that. Yes, thank you. All right. All right. Can you see Rose or no? Okay. So I am going to roll out pizza dough. You want to make sure that there is flour on your surface so your dough does not stick to your cutting board or your counter, whatever you're using, you know, like whatever you're putting your dough on. So here is my dough. Got it at the regular supermarket. It's like $2. It's one of the things that I liked making on Fridays. If we didn't go out to eat, then one of the things we would do is like make pizza. So you want to roll this out, see that this is sticking. So what I'm going to do is that you see I'm rolling it out and that there's flour on here. Roll it, turn it over, bring that flour down. All right, so we're going to roll it out now really good. My little cord is getting all messed up. Okay. All right, so we're going to roll it out really good. Roll it out as flat as you can. Try and make sure that there's no holes. If there is holes, put it together. Soleil, can you pass me the sauce? Whatever. The non-meat sauce, please. Just the regular sauce. All right. So let's try and do this a little bit more out to the sides, because we're going to roll this up and we want them to be like pinwheels. So right here we have a break in the dough. So we're going to try and rectify that, move that over a little bit. All right. Can you pass me a spoon, Stuart, please? Thank you. And then the cheese, the cheese. So here, you're gonna put sauce. If you want to put like pepperoni, we already did some meat ones, so we're gonna do this one with no meat. All right, and then you're gonna put some cheese of your choice. I'm gonna put some pesto in there. We have a recipe for pesto. This is store-bought pesto, but you can make your own pesto if you want to from the recipe that I give you, or you can just buy your own store-bought variety. So like, can you get past me some of that that sauteed kale? So these are going to be flouring pinwheels. Oh, yeah, yep. Thank you. So we'll put some vegetables. We have onions. We use this with the meat one. And you can do whatever you want. You can put eggplant in here. You can put zucchini. It is really whatever you want. Right? And so then you're just going to roll it up. See, like that. You can leave it like that, and it would be like a rolled up, like stuffed bread calzone, what we're used to in Connecticut. And then, so like, can you pass me the cookie sheet, please? You're just gonna cut this in half, or not cut in half, but go down horizontally or vertically. And you're just gonna put and what you can do is, if you have a skewer or if you have what you would put on a popsicle stick, then you can put that in there either before or after. So we're gonna bake these, and I hope they'll be done. Soleil, can you put the stove at like the highest temperature it can be, so we can see if we can make sure that these are done so people can see them. Can you put the oven on 550? And then put the pizza in there so it can be done. I have to clean up my station really fast. I have to clean up my station really fast. So I'm gonna do that in 1 minute. Sorry. All right. So we have like white bread. We have white bread, and we have cream cheese that has been mixed with sour cream. And we're gonna try and make a small one. We're not gonna be able to make a big one. And tomorrow I'll try and make a big one tomorrow and then take some pictures and we'll put that in the document that we give you. So I have 4 pieces of bread. This is one of the things that you can use Wonder Bread and not feel bad about. All right, so I'm gonna cut off the crust. All right, so we have our pieces right there. We'll throw away the crust. If you want to, you can make breadcrumbs. We're talking about sustainability. I'm not going to do that today. Soleil? Yeah. Can you come here, please? Can you bring that over here, please? Yeah, all that stuff. Thank you. Can you see if your how is your stuff in the oven doing? Yeah. So what you can do is that you can, this is watercress, and you can put watercress at the bottom. You can do whatever you want, but try and make it look kind of cool. Right, and then I'll put a little bit of the cream cheese on there. Right, and then I will put a little bit of this shrimp salad. I will put that on there, have a layer. I'll put another layer right here. I'll put a layer of this cream cheese. And then you can use like the tuna salad. It's not done yet, so just gonna put some cucumber, like a cucumber salad, like you have a cucumber salad, and sandwich. And then we're gonna close it up. And then now I gotta kind of ice it. Do it like I'm icing it. So you wanna make sure that you get all the sides. Gotta make sure that your top, you don't mess up your top with being a little too rough. Being a little rough because I'm rushing right now. You want to do the sides, right? But what I'm gonna do is decorate the top. You want to. All right, and then you can add add different herbs of your choice to decorate. And as I said, like tomorrow, I'll try and get up and do a nicer one because obviously I'm very tired. So, but you can do things like this to add nice design. Right, so you can do that. You can add all different things all throughout. I have like, for instance, bagel seasoning if you want to do that. I have some smoked salmon that you could put in there. So we have tuna. I took out like a chicken breast to be able to make chicken salad because I didn't know what I wanted to make. And so it really is up to you. And if you don't want to make any salads, you can just use turkey or ham or beef, or as I said, vegetables. You know, it really is up to you, right? I'm going to show you how you make the soda. And so you got the idea about how you can make your sandwich cake and make it look really pretty. It's going to taste really good because the salad tastes good. I wish I had more time to really spend to decorate it, and I'm going to try and do that tomorrow morning. I want to do that just for myself. And then take a picture. But I will show you in the 6 minutes that we have left how to make a soda. I have to wash my hands though. All right, so how do you do this? You can put some more lemon in there. You can put some of your strawberries that are macerated. And I would blend this up a little bit more because they're kind of whole. So I blend that up a little bit more. So I'm gonna just like say macerate is like break it apart. But you see that this syrup right here is a natural syrup, not processed. So your fruits that are going bad, put them in the freezer or just make a syrup. And the whole notion of making a mandala is using things that would go to waste or bringing it back into nature. And so the whole notion of the mandala is that we're all interconnected. And it's important for us to understand that a lot of the stuff that we're going through, like climate change, that if we recycled, and then in the packet, I have like reuse, repurpose, all that kind of stuff. And we did all those different things and made the last resort, our waste going into the landfill would be in a much better place as a country and as a world. And it's really important that we understand that and we teach that to our kids. So let me taste this. It's really good. I don't like things too sweet. So it's been great spending this week with you. Hopefully people have learned some signature and basic recipes in which to nourish themselves. hopefully kids and their families watch this, and hopefully you'll be able to watch the replay, of which I am going to make it my mission to get it out, especially with our cookbook, for people to do at their own pace. I understand that this week for a lot of people are in school, people are in work, people who are on vacation, this is like their first vacation in over a year. And so it might not be something that people are able to see in real time, but I hope that people catch in the real play and make a dedication to their families to cook every day, and for kids to feel responsible for themselves, and to also to help contribute to the family, because that's really important too. So happy spring. It has been great to be here. If you'd like to learn more about me, I am Nadine Nelson, and I am the owner educator of Global Local Gourmet. I will be having a camp at Sticks and Stones. I want to say thank you to Tiny Forest in Milford, Connecticut for hosting me this week, and my daughter. They have been great, helping me to be able to clean and set up and be comfortable, and that's always very important. If you want to learn more about them, you can look them up. They're a retreat center and offer really great programs. And again, if you'd like to have your children learn how to be able to cook, I'll be teaching that this summer with some amazing teachers that are trained and want to impart our knowledge to our kids to make this world a better place. So thank you for joining me for 5 days. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, the library, for supporting me. And
Are the little pizzas done? Can we get a peek at those?
let's see. Are they no, they're not. Let's see the muffins. I'll take a picture.
Okay.
All right, but let's see. Silly, because I don't have showing the muffins. The muffins are almost done, as you can
Yep,
see.
they look like a browning.
Yep, they're almost done. Just a little bit, like I say, like 5-10 more minutes at the most, right? And then can you see the pizza so she can see? The sandwich cakes also, I made a miniature version because I didn't want to, like, we're not going to eat it. And so unless you're going to eat it with some people, you don't want to make it really big because it's not something that holds over very well. So
yeah, I made a smorgastarta once. I made it with like 2 slices of bread for the bottom layer, like for each layer instead of 1 like you did. And I did it with like a ham salad and some sliced cucumbers with like radish roses on top. It was fun.
Yeah, it is fun. You know, like you can, you know, when you have time, because that could take a whole hour to put together to make it look like really pretty. And so I'm just giving you a little taste of what you can do. Rose, do you see? They're not done, but
they're getting there.
So yeah, and that's a really easy way to have fun with kids, and yeah, to have, you know, you can put whatever you want inside there. You know, if you want to do an Italian sandwich, you can do salami, ham, prosciutto, whatever you want, you know, pepperoni. So yeah, so it's been really great. We've learned a lot of base recipes, and I really hope that you show and tag the library with things that you make that we've inspired you to create.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd love to see if anyone made anything from these recipes. Let us know. We'd love to see them.
Well, have a great weekend, Rose. Thank you so much. I know this has been a lot for you. All right. And like I said, if you want to connect about whatever tomorrow, you can.
All right.
Good night. Bye.